Yo, what is going on, Internet? Digrex here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new Destiny 2 video. And if you're like me, you are grinding for the Randy's throwing knife, the pinnacle weapon, or not pinnacle weapon, I guess, the ritual weapon, as they call it now. They said it'd be less of the grind. It's still a large grind. And you need scout rifle kills in Crucible for this one. Yeah, I know, it's really tough, so I'm here to recommend you this bad boy, the Black Scorpion-4SR. It is a Forsaken scout rifle that you can get from the gunsmith. So this roll has auto-loading holster and dragonfly. The perks are basically useless. Honestly, in PvP, on scouts, I don't really think perks matter too much. They don't really play a giant role, unless you like something like Firefly, or not Firefly, like Outlaw. Because for the most part, I don't know, scouts just really aren't that affected by perks in PvP. Unless you have something like, maybe Kill Clap would be decent on this one. I think this is the best scout for PvP in the game. Really, I think it's better than Mida. I think it's better than Conspirator. Conspirator? Is that the Raid Leviathan one? Either way, I would recommend using both of those, but this one is super easy to obtain, and it is really nice. So what I like about it is the vest rapid fire. It is full auto and deeper ammo reserves, slightly faster reload when magazine is empty. The full auto is what's important about this. I don't care about any of this. This is just a decent scout. It has a nice looking sight, and it is full auto. So let's get into some gameplay. So for me, this scout fixes two issues that I generally have when using scouts in the Crucible. First of all, it fixes that awkward overshot kind of thing that I do when using single fire scouts. For some reason, it feels like your sensitivity when you're using scouts is drastically higher than it really is when you're aiming down sights, and a lot of the times this can cause you to overscroll with scouts. I don't even know why, but it happens with scouts, and it doesn't really happen with any other weapon for me. Scouts, you just have to be very precise, but this weapon fires so fast as to where you can almost treat it like an auto rifle, and you don't have to be nearly as precise as you do with other scouts like the Mida. So like I mentioned, the Conspirator earlier is also a good scout, and it is fairly similar to this, although you do have to do a raid for that one, and I still don't think it's as good. I think this might be the best PvP scout in the game, and it was only brought to my attention when people started grinding for Randy's. I see this thing quite often along with Mida, and as you see the sight there is very clean, just a red dot in the middle of the vest sight. Obviously the Mida sights I really like also, but this is just so nice and easy to hit your headshots with. So obviously it is a 47 damage to the headshot and only like 23 to the body, so you do really have to land your headshots to be effective with this. But what I like is that it feels like a long range auto rifle. It almost feels like I can use it up close. The hip fire accuracy on this thing is fantastic, and it also does a ton of damage at longer ranges like most scouts do. So it is almost like the best of both worlds. I feel like I can be a lot more versatile with the range that I use this thing, which is what I really like. Like, I feel like if people get too close to you, even with Mida or the Conspirator, it is really hard to counter them. With this, the hip fire accuracy feels good, and it fires so fast that I feel like I have a pretty good fighting chance, which I love. I absolutely love that about this gun. I find that when people rush me, I'm much more successful in being able to take them out with this gun than I am any other. And it is an energy weapon, so unfortunately you can't pair some stuff that I would normally pair with like the Mida. Sometimes you could pair Recluse with Mida, or like Mindbender's Ambition. There's not too many amazing shotguns that you can put in your front slot. I would not pair a sniper with any scout really, because at that sniper range you're going to want to be using your scout to get kills with your scout, because I did not mention this before, but for Randy's throwing knife, you need 450 final blows with your scout, which is absolutely off the walls insane. I mean, that's a lot of final blows with your scout. And so I can see to the point where you want to use like Talons of the Eagle or something like that, maybe because it does more damage and try to steal kills. But honestly, Talons of the Eagle, you are not going to be winning a lot of your one-on-one gunfights. This thing, I promise you, you won't be stealing as many kills, and you won't be getting as many kills like that, but I promise you your one-on-one gunfights will be much easier with this weapon. And like I said, don't be afraid to hip fire it. Obviously, another advantage about this weapon is that it's so easy to obtain that you can farm for a god roll if you want. I didn't really care about going for a god roll. I was fine with just Dragonfly because I like to watch the pretty explosion when I headshot people. And like I said before, I feel like the perks don't really matter too much for scouts in PvP. It's more about the archetype and frame of the scout in PvP. And this just so happens that this archetype and this frame is awesome. It's really good for people who aren't as precise, who aren't as good as aiming. And overall, I just really love this weapon. I honestly can't believe I never used it earlier. Obviously, it's always been in the back. I mean, it's always like one of those weird gunsmith weapons that you get that you kind of just are like, all right, that's like kind of neat. I'll just throw it in my vault, I guess. But yeah, this is when it was brought to my attention, and I recommend you guys use it because my progress for Randy's throwing knife has increased drastically. So I have not used Randy's throwing knife yet, and I do say that this is the best in my opinion in PvP. Randy's throwing knife is probably better than this thing. I'm just talking about grinding up to Randy's throwing knife. Yeah, it's an absolute beast. What can I say? It's smooth. You don't have to be as accurate with it as other scouts, or you don't have to be as precise. The sights are amazing. Everything about it, the design's amazing. I mean, I already told you about the gameplay, but like, let's just look at this thing. I know I'm using the mountaintop right now, but listen, this thing looks sexy. It sounds sexy, and everything about it just screams unique Destiny weapon, and that's also what I love about this gun. Very good. Very look good. Try it. Obviously, scouts are pretty hard to use in Crucible still. This thing I've found the most success with. I just had a minor stroke. This thing I've found the most success with. So I hope you guys try it out for yourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe for more Destiny 2 and any other games I might be playing. It's been Digrex. Peace.
I'm open to mine, so we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, cause I never can leave it alone. Talking about somebody rolling, boulevard dining, making it count for efforts I can't explain. Balling and feeling we drowning, never been humble by playing the fighter.